This is how you can make $30,000 in the next 2 months without having to learn any new skills or build a brand new business. Because what I'm going to show you today is the exact strategy that this client used to go from making inconsistent sales, like $2,000 one month, $0 the next, to consistent $40,000 months after only 30 days. But let me be clear, this isn't a get rich quick scheme. This is about turning your existing knowledge and skills into an offer that has proven success. So today, I'm going to be going over how to find your unique angle that sets you apart from everyone else in your niche, how to turn that unique angle into an offer that triggers buying urgency, and the exact actions to take to get clients in weeks, not months. Because if you're here, you've tried making offers, you've had some sales and worked with some clients, but it's never been consistent, right? It seems like nothing sticks. So today, we're going to try something new. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to completely let go of the course or program that you've already built, but it does mean giving it a refresh, a repackage, so that you can make some sales around here. Okay, so the first piece is your transformation. Now, I'm sure that inside your program, you offer a result, right? You help your clients achieve XYZ. But what you're going to do now is focus on your most potent and most powerful transformation. Maybe it's something that you've been through yourself. Maybe it's something that your best clients have gone through by working with you. But instead of giving them like, inside this course, inside this program, I'm going to teach you XYZ, we are just going to think of that one thing that is the most powerful. So for example, I have a client who was a relationship counselor. She is a relationship counselor, right? And in her coaching program, she would help clients to communicate better. She would help them with intimacy issues, normal everyday things that, people in coupled relationships go through. But by doing it that way, she was having just trouble getting consistent clients. She was getting trouble getting conversions from her content. So what we did is we repackaged her offer. We focused on one transformation, which was avoiding divorce. Okay, so her whole program went from being relationships to you are not going to get divorced. Like, we are going to work on these steps that will guarantee that you stay married. And when she repackaged her offer to focus on just this very specific transformation and follow through with the rest of the steps that I'm about to show you, she went from making very inconsistent income to making around $70,000 to $80,000 every single month. So focus on that one transformation. I know this is going to hurt if you already have like this whole program, but again, you don't have to get rid of that program. We're going to get to that later on. But for now, I just want you to focus on one very powerful, very potent transformation inside of that program that you already have. All right. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to focus on a specific time frame that you are going to use in your marketing. So here we can use an example from my own journey. I used to have an Instagram course way back in the day, and the whole program was like, I help you get better at Instagram, right? So inside the program, I had modules about creating better content, about getting more engagement, about getting more followers, and about making sales using Instagram. But when I repackage that offer into I help you get clients on Instagram in 30 days. That just became so much more powerful because it's a milestone in a bigger goal that your clients might have, right? So once you figured out that transformation, I want you to create a time frame that again we are going to use in your marketing to sell this offer in the next 2 months. So very specific transformation, very specific time frame that's going to happen in. Okay. Now, what's going to happen here is that first, you're going to give your clients and your audience a lot more clarity about what you're going to help them achieve, right? So again, instead of just being better at Instagram, get clients using Instagram, and you are going to give them a specific time frame that fits into the goals that they already have. So yeah, I want to get clients on Instagram sometime, or I'm going to get clients in the next 30 days. So That's what you're going to sell, even if it doesn't exist yet. And if you've already been pushing something to your audience, this has the added benefit of feeling like it's something new. Again, even if it's not something new. Now that you've pulled a specific transformation, a specific time frame from inside your existing program, your existing thing that you already offer, and created this new offer, we are going to repackage it. Now, repackaging really is about two specific things. So the first is price. We want to price your offer based on the transformation that it provides. Now let's go back to my couples counselor clients example, okay? If she's just helping clients to have a better relationship, that feels very fluffy. There's nothing really tangible about that, right? But when she says that she'll help them to not get divorced, you can actually calculate how much that transformation is worth. So let's think about divorce. I've never been through a divorce. I don't know if you have or if you haven't, but what I know about divorces is that they can get very, very expensive, right? So when we're thinking about selling an offer that avoids divorce, what we're going to do is we're going to price that based on the value of not getting divorced. So if you're getting divorced, you might need to buy a new house. You might need to buy a new car. You're going to need to pay for couples therapy for the children. You're probably going to have to, pay for some sort of settlement, alimony. It really adds up. But when you say, hey, I can help you to not get divorced, then all of a sudden, whatever you charge feels like a no-brainer, right? Because it's like millions of dollars versus what? 20K, which is what my client has charged, by the way. It's like, yeah, obviously I'll pay 20K to avoid spending millions and millions and millions. So when you create that new offer with a specific transformation in a specific time frame, you're also able to reprice it, and the value of that transformation for being so potent can be a lot higher. And charging higher prices means that you'll make more money. Love that for you. Leave a like below if you love that for you too. Now, the next thing that we're going to do in terms of packaging your offer is we need to come up with a why now reason for people to buy. So why should they invest in your program, in your offer right now instead of 2 months from now? Because people are never going to be ready. Nobody's sitting around with a pile of cash just waiting to invest in something. So we need to give them an offer to invest right now. Now we could do this in one of 5 ways. The first is a time sensitive reason. This could really be absolutely anything. So it could be like, hey, it's my birthday, and because it's my birthday, I'm putting together this group that I wasn't going to put together until next year. Or because it's my birthday, I want to offer this or this or this bonus, right? So you can literally come up with any time and any reason to market your offer. And it could be something like, hey, you know what? I'm getting a new puppy next month. And because I'm going to have a puppy at home, I won't be able to work so closely with my clients. So if you want to work really closely with me, you need to invest now, right? Like, make up whatever feels good for you. And I want to hear in the comment, like, what time sensitive date could you come up with right now? And obviously this could be related to you, but it could also be like, the holidays are coming up and I want you to get this result before the beginning of next year. Whatever it is, brainstorm below. All right, the second thing that you could do is you could offer something new. So you could be like, hey, if you invest in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be offering exclusive one-to-ones with me. So this is a group program, but for the next 2 weeks only, if you sign up, you'll get a one-to-one with me, right? Something new, something that you don't usually offer, and something that you won't offer again. Now, you could also, and this is the third thing, you could reveal something that you already did, but you just didn't say that you did. So for instance, inside my program, I work so closely with my clients that I actually review all their work and I give them feedback on absolutely everything that they do. But that's not something that I actively market. So what I could do here is I could reveal that as something new, right? So sign up now. Anybody who signs up in the next 2 weeks will get my expert eyes on absolutely everything that they do. So take something that you were going to do anyway and just highlight it, right? Make it really, really shiny and valuable and obviously restricted to this moment in time. Now, the fourth way that you could come up with a why now reason is to take something away. So remember how I said, oh, I'm getting a puppy in a month? Well, after I do, I will no longer be doing my weekly group coaching sessions. They'll all be with our expert coaches inside the program. So after this date, you'll no longer have access to me. So sign up by that date. And this is hypothetical, guys. Like, I'm not taking away that. Like, my favorite time of the week is literally when I'm hanging out with my clients. But you get the idea, right? You could also take something away. So sign up by this date in order to have this thing that I'm going to be taking away later. And then obviously the fifth way that you could do this is you could limit access. And this is something that I really like because very often it's so true and so authentic and so genuine, right? Like, so for instance, I only work with 10 clients every month. And that's true because I want to be super hands-on with my clients. I want to be able to really, get in the weeds with them and do the work with them. So that is a way to limit access, but to also create that urgency and that scarcity, right? So listen, 10 spots, once they're gone, I'm not going to be opening enrollment again for X amount of time. So when you're repackaging your offer, again, you want to price that offer based on the value of the transformation that we talked about earlier. And you also want to offer a why now reason because we have 2 months, guys, right? We want to get those sales in. So you need to pick one of these to use in your marketing. So let's talk about marketing. Now, there's two things that I want to cover in terms of marketing. And the first is something that I've been thinking a lot about. Everybody is selling something online. Everybody can teach you something. And like even ChatGPT or YouTube or Google can teach people things. So in this day and age, in 2005, in 2025, 2026, it's going to be really hard to sell people on outcomes, right? On specific things that they're going to learn. It's going to be a lot more powerful and a lot more potent to sell people on your ideas because people need to believe in your ideas so that they can believe in your offer, right? It's so much easier to get someone to buy into ideas and concepts because it's either yes or no, like, yes, I agree with that idea, I'm all in, or no, that idea makes no sense to me, and that's fine. They can move on to the next person. And attracting leads with big ideas instead of promises generates just higher quality leads, people who are ready to buy because they're already sold. So if you look around, you'll notice that there are big ideas everywhere, right? Not just in marketing and not just in the online course coaching space, but literally everywhere. So think of, Elizabeth Gilbert and Big Magic. That's a book that literally changed my mind about creativity, right? Because before I was like, oh, I need to wait for creativity to strike so that I can create content, make a video, create a course, whatever it was. But after reading that, I was like, no, oh my God, she's totally right. Like the ideas already exist and all I have to do is put myself in a place and in a situation where I'm ready to receive that idea, right? That creative spark. Another great example is Mel Robbins and the Let Them theory, right? Like that thing became a phenomenon when she brought that big idea to the world. She like became the #1 podcaster. She's huge. And the whole thing is like, it's not really anything new, but it's something that she presented in a new way that's her own. So I want to run through some big ideas that you can think of that resonate with you and that you can use in your marketing. And I'm going to put them up on the screen, but you can also download a document that I made for you with these templates for big ideas and also for the next step that we're going to cover with marketing. So you can download it here, I don't know where it is, or in the link in the description below. The first big idea that I really like to think about is the unexpected hero, right? So you want to make a metric or a KPI, a hero that people aren't expecting. So for instance, in my case, an unexpected hero is white space on my calendar. Like what percentage of my calendar is empty? And if it's less than like 50% on a weekday, then something's wrong because it means that I'm having to do more work than I want to, right? So the unexpected hero here is white space on my calendar. And people just don't expect that. Like, how is white space on your calendar a hero? But if you think about it, it's a KPI that I really want to reach so that I can have the lifestyle that aligns with my values, right? So 50% white space on my calendar. So think of an unexpected metric that can be a hero in whatever you're teaching. Okay. Next up is the persona filter. So the way that you want to think about what you're selling is, who is this not for? So for example, my program, it's not for first rodeo beginners, right? It's for creators, for experts, for coaches who have done the work. Like they've worked with some clients, they've built some audience, they've created some content, but it just they haven't gotten to that place where they're making consistent income, when they're selling every day and they're reaching their goals and they're building their authority and they're really creating a community. And when I say that, it weeds out the very beginners. So someone who's like, I want to create an online business, but I have no idea what it is. By using this persona filter, they'll know that what I have is not for them. But most importantly, the people who this is for, that's my Brazilian coming out. So the people who this is for will know that this is indeed for them based on the things that I say and the filters that I use to weed out the people that it's not for. So I want you to get really specific about who your program is for, but also who it's not for. Next up, the inversion. So what happens when you reverse logic, just common logic, right? So for instance, I believe that working with fewer clients gives me more revenue and more time, right? Because when I work with fewer clients, I can raise their access to me. I can raise their LTV, their lifetime value, which means like they're getting more access to me. So they're getting better results. They're getting results faster. So they're signing up to continue working with me, which raises their lifetime value, right? The amount of money that they invest in me and in my program. And it also reduces my support load because I don't have new clients coming in every single day needing a bunch of my attention, right? I have the new clients who come in through my very limited spots, and then they're getting a ton of my attention. So this can work in literally anything. What you have to do is just reverse common knowledge, because common knowledge, or common logic, excuse me, most people will say, I want a ton of clients so that I can make a ton of money. So think of something that people will generally say in your niche, in your space, and of how you can reverse that logic in a way that makes sense to you and in a way that you can present that as a big idea. Now, next up is the constraint. So basically what you want to think about here is, what constraint can I apply to improve results? So for me, that constraint is no launching. I don't want to launch ever again. I'm almost 40 years old. Like, I do not want to do exhausting launches. I don't want to do webinars and big live events and like 4-day open cart, close cart, go crazy. I don't want to do that anymore, right? And if I apply that constraint to my business, no launching, that means that I have time to focus on building assets that'll give me a longer term ROI, like YouTube videos, right? So I'm not saying that, oh, by constraining launches, I'm just not doing anything else. What I'm saying is that by constraining launches, I have the energy, the creativity, just like the of life to do other things that'll really keep on giving to my business for so much longer. And in my case, that's YouTube videos, because the YouTube videos that I make continue to bring in leads long term, whereas my launches will sure bring in a ton of leads for that like very limited amount of time during that launch. For you, I want you to think about, how can you constrain what you do to improve results? Next up, the simplifier. So here, what you're going to do is you're going to strip a standard method down to the essentials. So let's think about the course and coaching space, right? Most people will have what's called an offer suite, right? So obviously they'll have like their free lead magnet, and then they'll have their like low ticket, maybe it's a membership, maybe it's like a low ticket course, mini course. Then they'll have their like mid ticket. So this might be something like an actual evergreen course, and they'll have their signature offer. So this is probably something a little bit higher ticket, a little bit more access, and then they'll have their like mastermind, and then they'll probably have like their super duper one-to-one crazy, very high ticket offer. When you apply the simplifier, right, my big idea is that one system is better than a full offer suite, right? Like if I have one offer that is a hybrid of all those things, right? So it's got a community like a membership, it's got the scalability of a pre-recorded course, it's got the results of one-to-one coaching, but that's all blended into one hybrid offer, then I can simplify my life and my business by having one marketing system, one content strategy, one email segment. So basically, the simplifier takes what is common knowledge in your industry or the way that people do things and then just strips it down to the essentials. Finally, we have the opposite. So this is where you flip a common rule. So in my case, what I'm saying is don't niche down to a person, niche down to a transformation. And for me, this is so obvious, right? Because like one of the biggest mistakes that I see coaches, creators, course creators do is that they're like, oh, my course or my program is for women who are in their 40s, who live in a big city. And it's like, dude, no. Like what you want to do is you want to think about what is the problem that you can solve, right? Like what is one specific problem that a person has and one specific result that they're looking to achieve. And that transformation becomes your niche, because all of a sudden you'll notice that like maybe it's not just moms in their 40s who live in urban areas who have that problem. And when you have that transformation be your actual niche, you're able to craft content that resonates so much better with the person that you're trying to help. So when you're thinking about the opposite, I want you to just flip a common rule. Like my niche example is just my example, right? So what's a common rule, something that everyone does in your niche? Flip it. So now that you have a couple of big ideas that you've come up with for your own niche, again, download the doc that I created for you. It's got examples. It'll help you come up with your own big ideas, or even just like put your ideas down into words because you already have your big ideas, right? But what you're going to do is you are going to use these big ideas in the second part of this marketing piece, which is your cash campaign. So what you're going to do is, time is ticking. We want to do 30K in the next 2 months. So what you're going to do is for the next 14 days, we're going to do a campaign to get clients to this new offer based on this very potent transformation at this new price point with your why now reason established and anchored in your big ideas. So the first 2 days of your cash campaign is basically going to serve as a way for you to reach out to people who already know you, who are already somewhat sold on you. Okay, so these can be previous clients, these can be people who are already in your audience, who are often engaging with you, these can be people who have shown interest in working with you before but maybe didn't. So you're going to reach out to them, you're going to DM them, you're going to send them emails, you're basically going to nudge them and you're going to say, hey, I'm offering this where I'm going to help you reach this transformation within this time frame, and I'm really excited because big idea, big idea, big idea, would love to talk to you about it. Get them on a call, sell that baby. Okay, so first 2 days, outreach, outreach, outreach. You're having warm people who know you, who are on your list, who have talked to you before, who have engaged, who have raised their hands. That's who you're going to go to first. Then for the next 12 days, you are going to create a little content calendar of posts, stories, and emails that you are going to publish every single day for the next 12 days that are really going to highlight, again, your big idea, your transformation, and that time frame. And anybody who likes, anybody who comments, obviously you're going to include a CTA in every post, then you are going to reach out to. I've also created a little template for you of those 12 posts for the next 12 days. So again, download it. I'm going to make a QR code, put it right there, or just grab the link in the description below to get those templates and then create those posts, baby. Go make sales. All right, now that you're ready to create your cash campaign, to create your content for the next 12 days, I want you to pay attention because there is one common mistake that keeps courses and coaching programs from selling. So watch this video next to find out what it is and avoid it.